Good morning. This is September 27, Wednesday, 2023, and we are in BBA first semester, section A English class. And this is the 7th class, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. 7th class of this semester. And in the previous class, if I remember correctly, I was talking about the thesis statement, and I drew a picture of a tree with its roots, and I said that the branches of a tree, you can regard as the paragraphs. Right? For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's draw more. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I drew 18 branches to represent 18 paragraphs, for example. Then each branch has twigs, right? There are twigs. Now these twigs can be the sentences, right? And at each twigs you will see leaves there, right? The leaves can be words. The twigs can be sentences. The splinters can be paragraphs. I used this analogy to make you understand that whatever you see in this tree, essay tree, let's say, it all comes from the root. It all comes from the root. And in the essay tree, suppose this is the ground. You see the tree above the ground. Did I turn on the speaker? Yes. Sometimes I teach 2 hours and there is no voice at all. So this thing you see under the tree, you can call this as thesis statement, right? And in our case last time, our thesis said that from culture to culture, from group to group, within a single country, then even within the sexes. Then it said the use of space is distinct and it may cause confusion. So I told you that this is the central idea of the essay. And what I'm trying to make you understand is that, please pay attention. If you can understand this thing clearly and if you start following it throughout your life, you will write better. The most important thing in writing is called coherence and unity. What is coherence? Coherence means all the parts fit together. No two parts contradict. There is no contradiction in your essay. You are not telling opposite things and somebody says, oh, why you are saying this thing in A and say opposite in B. So coherence means when different ideas, they fit together. This coherence and unity you achieve in your writing when your writing is based on a central idea. That central idea we call as a thesis statement. Please remember that it is not easy to come up with a thesis statement. You will not get a thesis statement at one attempt. Thesis statement you get when you think for a time, when you do some research study, then you get the idea, right? But once you have the thesis statement, it controls your writing, it guides your writing, it determines everything in your writing. Have you seen in political demonstrations, suppose, not why political, you go around Maitigar Mandala, and you might see sometimes some Nepalese people, they gather there with this national flag. Have you seen? And you will see that all people sit under the flag. All people sit under the flag. So ask a question. What is bringing all these different people together? Then you say, the flag is bringing all people together. Just as the flag unites all Nepalese together, the thesis unites all ideas together. Am I able to explain? I don't know. I'm making you understand that in writing, there is something called unity. Unity of ideas, unity of structure. And I said, you create unity in your writing when you have a central idea. Here I give you example. From culture to culture, from group to group within a single country, even within sexes, the language of space has distinct accents and umlauts, it says. Central idea. Paragraph 4. Which paragraph? 4. Now, if you go to paragraph 5, I checked up to class, paragraph 8 last time I remember. In paragraph 5, we saw last time that the writer gives example of the Arab and American. In paragraph 6, the writer gives example of Japanese and American. And in paragraph 6, he also says that Japanese in the subway behave one way, the same Japanese in the office behave another way. And he is proving this idea from group to group. Groups of people at subway don't mind if you touch them. The same group of people at home will mind if you touch them. Second, this idea is supported. Now, if you come to paragraph 7, again, let's say here 7. Here you have a new idea. What idea? The idea of cultural continuum. I guess I explained this idea last time. So again here he is showing this thing that the whole cultures can be divided into high contact cultures versus low contact cultures versus middle zone. Then if you come to paragraph 8, we read about Americans, how Americans maintain something called zone of privacy, that is 18 inches, right? Then we read up to paragraph 8 last time, I guess. Let's move from paragraph 9 now. Don't snuggle up too fast. I'll read, you can follow. Though men in that study were more irritated by their partners when they were forced to talk at close range. Now look, the third strand. Even within the sexes, sexes means men and women. So paragraph 8 discusses this idea. Paragraph 6 discuss this idea. Paragraph 7 also discuss this idea. Paragraph 5 and 6 discuss this idea. So do you see, all our paragraphs are development of this central idea. This is what I want you to understand. In a sense, thesis statement is the shortest summary of the whole essay. So what you can do, the trick is, don't write thesis first. First write the essay without thesis. Then read the essay 2-3 times and summarize your essay in a single sentence. That becomes your thesis. Then put it somewhere in paragraph 1 to 3. This is a trick, nobody teaches you. If you want to have thesis first, then write, you may have difficulty, because thesis is difficult to grasp. Sometimes I feel like, write freely, don't worry about thesis. Finish your essay. Write whatever you want. Then read and carefully see, how can I summarize the 15 paragraphs? What is the idea found in every paragraph? Then summarize the 15 paragraphs in one sentence. That sentence becomes your thesis statement. Okay. So here in paragraph 8, what do we read? Men and women do not use space in the same way. For example, if you make two women sit at a distance from one another and you ask her, how is she? So she might tell that, oh, she is cold, she is indifferent, she is unfriendly, because women like staying quite close when they have conversation. Why this happens? Because the purpose of conversation for women is building relationship. The purpose of conversation for women is building friendship. The purpose of conversation for women is building intimacy. Women look for friends, look for relationship, look for feelings and emotions when they talk. Men, now if you see men, it says that if you place two men close from each other, then they will feel irritating. Men feel irritating if they sit closer when they talk. Why? Because the purpose of men's talk is not intimacy, relationship, nothing, friendship, no. Men talk to maintain their ego. Men talk to maintain their hierarchy. Men talk to maintain their status. So if you come too close, the man will feel you are threatening my space. You are threatening my hierarchy. Men are like lions. They have their own zone in the jungle. And if another lion gets into their territory, they fight. So men fight for the territory. Women never fight for territory. If a tigress sees another female tiger, they will be friendly. But if a lion sees another lion, they will fight. Men talk to preserve their superiority. Men talk to maintain their status. Men talk to maintain their social hierarchy. As a result, if another man comes closer, men feel their hierarchy, status, ego is being challenged, and they tend to fight. So they stay far away when they talk. Now look, paragraph 8, 9 and 10 was based on this idea. Paragraph 5, 6, 7 were based on this idea. I am simply showing you how the essay develops neatly, cleanly, in a very clear way from your thesis statement. Let's read. Don't smuggle up too fast, though men in that study were more irritated by their partners when they were forced to talk at close range. Especially speaking, it seems men and women are subtly foreign to each other in terms of space use. No matter whether a society operates at arm's length, men maintain arm's length. Men maintain arm's length. Or cheek to jowl, women maintain close proximity. Arabian people, when they meet their friends, they will touch cheeks to cheek. And they will kiss on the forehead. They will kiss on the forehead. Look, he avoided being touched. Look, we Nepalese don't like that. In many Hollywood, Bollywood programs, you will see celebrities touch each other. Have you seen? Right? Yeah. The women look at each other more when they talk. Men avoid eye contact when they talk. Women stand closer and have more smiling. Men don't stand closer and don't smile. Paragraph 10. We'll read slowly and understand. It just goes to show that you can't take things for granted even within the borders of a single country. This idea. From group to group, within a single country, people use space differently. Which paragraph? Paragraph 10. Read. Take that unwilling amalgamation of ethnic minorities, Soviet Union. When this essay was written in 1990, Soviet Union had not been disintegrated. Soviet Union broke at the end of 1990. According to psychologist Robert Sommer, look, the writer brings a psychologist. Academic writing has this feature. In academic writing, you refer scholarly people's opinion. You refer doctors, engineers, professors, right? According to psychologist Robert Sommer, who along with Hall sparked the study of personal space, spatial needs collide in republic. See the main idea. Spatial needs collide in the republic. What is collision? If two aeroplanes head towards one another on same track, they will collide. Look, collision. So here when you say spatial needs collide, means people within a single country have opposite views about space. Now look at the example. Okay, the Estonians. See now this is main idea, right? Now see the detail. One example. The Estonians, people from Estonia. The Estonians are a non-contact people. They don't touch others at all while having conversation. They won't touch. Estonians are a non-contact people, says Sommer of the University of California. So this Robert Sommer is a professor of psychology at University of California. And when you bring idea of a university professor to support what you're saying, people believe you. That's why academic writing is credible, trustworthy, reliable, and respected. Why? Because the ideas of scholarly people are used here, not a gossip and bluffing, right? You don't say, Facebook says so, right? What you see on Facebook is not academic writing. Okay. The Estonians are a non-contact people, says Sommer of the United California at Davis. Now quotation. I went to a hands around the Baltic event. In hands around events, you are protesting, then you 10 people, 20 people stand and you hold each other's hand, you make a line or circle. Have you seen in demonstrations, political demonstrations also, they hold lines and they hold hands. I went to hands around Baltic event and nobody touched hands. He went to Estonia in an event. What was the event? Hands around Baltic. So the participants were supposed to hold hands. And he saw that Estonians, even when they go in hand around event, they don't touch each other's hands. One example. Now look. The Russians. Now second example. How are they? Russians, on the other hand, they are high contact people. Look, low contact Estonians and high contact Russians, they live in a single country. So this group of people, the Estonian group of people and the Russian group of people who live within single country, they use space differently. So do you see the discussion in paragraph 10 supports the idea in your thesis statement that even within a country, no two groups use space same way. Now look, the difference. Now what is the problem? The problem is the Russians think that Estonians are cold, Estonians are unfriendly, Estonians are indifferent. Russians think. Now, Estonians think that Russians are pushy. Wherever you go, they'll always follow you. They're always behind you. They're always after you, touching you, brushing you, pushing you. See the confusion, see the misunderstanding. Estonians, the low contact people, never like touching. Russians will go jolting, pressing them, pushing them. Oh, Russians are pushy, they're always after you. Right? Now, Russians, she's Estonian, runs away. Oh, she's cold, indifferent, unfriendly. She can't be a friend. Why? Because the two people have different belief about space use. We should read like this, line by line, word by word, letter by letter, and discuss at least one essay. Then you will do the same. Here we go. Paragraph 11. Nor are things easier within the United States. Look again. Within a single country. Again, second example, paragraph 11. Nor are the things easier within United States. I have an imagination. I want to share an imagination. Can we print this whole essay in a flex print of this size, the whole wall, and then display the whole essay here, and then with a pointer see the connection at one glimpse? I just imagine printing this whole essay on a single page so that you see at one glance. And I can show you the connection. If you just, somebody who is very rich like Bill Gates and can pay 4,000, 3,000 rupees and print it and bring it. So if we have Ambani's here, please do print them. I just imagined. Actually, really, if we can have the whole essay on one page, we will visually see the connection. We can donate, contribute, and then get printed. Okay, leave it. Nor are things easier within the United States. Researchers have found, for instance, that middle-class Caucasian school teachers often jump to mistaken conclusions when dealing with a child from a different background. If a girl, example, from an Asian family averts her eyes, averting. I look at you, you are my principal, you are my teacher, and you are angry with me, scolding me. Now I'm afraid, so I look down. Averting eyes, right? Averts her eyes out of respect for her teacher's authority. The teacher may well go on alert. Look the confusion. Look the misunderstanding. The student looks down out of respect. The teacher thinks that Miss Basnet has done something wrong and she's hiding it. Miss Basnet does not look into my eyes while I'm scolding her because it's out of respect for the teacher. But I don't understand her culture and I wrongly think that she must have done something wrong and she is hiding. So I put more cross questions to her. See the misunderstanding. Then, convinced that the child is trying to hide some misbehavior, ethnically diverse workplaces can be similarly booby-trapped. Now analyze paragraph 11. In paragraph 11, you have a Caucasian teacher. Then you have an Asian student. Both of them are living in America, single country. And this student averts her eyes, looks down, because in Asian culture, the culture is when you stand before authority, you don't have eye contact. In Nepali culture also. In American culture, in Caucasian culture, you can have eye contact when you talk to someone. You should have. So Caucasians believe that you should have eye contact. Asians believe that you should have eye contact. Now this brings misunderstanding. What misunderstanding? The teacher thinks that this student is hiding some kind of misbehavior. We stop here. I understand. I was late today and I was busy with so many things. I didn't teach the whole class, but this essay I'll teach like this slowly. From next essay, I will invite you to teach yourself and we'll learn gradually. Any questions you want to ask me? Thank you. Tomorrow is holiday, right? Yes, sir. Yeah. Where should I go?